Philly Johnson. He's the toughest cat in the city. In about 5 minutes, he'll be here with a smoking barrel, and I'll be dead on the floor. That just so happens to be the cards that I've been dealt. Philly is the older brother of Cecilia. She was tragically murdered, and Philly thinks I did it. I didn't kill her, but all of my pleas to Philly fell on deaf ears. Oh well, I at least owe it to my Cecilia to find out who did. 2 nights ago, I was in a rush for a very important meeting with an investor about a third speakeasy I wanted to open. I may not have made my money the legal way all my life, but it paid the bills and no one questioned me when I put money behind their important causes. I've always done my best to keep Cecilia out of my illegal ways, and she'll believe my stories about hanging with the fellows when I would slip out late some nights, but deep down inside, maybe she knew. This signed contract is the only reason I came back home so soon that night. I left it tucked in between my shirts in my drawer and walked out to seal the deal with my investor without it. When I got back home to retrieve the contract, I walked near the door and felt a warm rush and thought, that was very funny because it was a chilly night. That's when I noticed the warmth I was feeling was coming from the front door, being cracked. At that moment, all I could think about was Cecilia being there alone. So I ran into the house, frantically calling her name. Celia! But I could only hear my voice echoing back to me. Celia! I ran into the bedroom, first to see if she was just sleeping and forgot to lock the door. With no sign of her, I then ran into the basement, hoping she was fetching something from down there. No sign. Then a strong odor of booze and lilac ran into my nose and led me into the kitchen. There it was. Small specks of blood, feeding into the messy red silhouette framing my poor Cecilia. The doorknob was intact, which means it wasn't forced entry, so it had to be someone that she trusted. Could it be Roy Rogers? My best friend of 10 years who was turned down by Cecilia due to her interest in me? He claims it doesn't bother him that we are together, but it wouldn't be the first thing he has lied to me about. My second guess is Logan Shaw, who worked at my first speakeasy. He was a good kid and I would have brought him up in the ropes with me, but he was a sloppy, handsy drunk who fought with a handful of our customers. The day I fired him, he said I would regret it. Or my last guess, Valerie Walnut. She's Philly's girlfriend of 2 years, and she's been hiding the fact that she's in love with me. Up until a year ago, that is. I caught her in one of my speakeasy drinking too hard and stumbling all over her feet. I offered her to drive her home and explained to her that she couldn't say anything about my business because Philly nor Cecilia knew. She agreed, and as I walked her to her doorway, she leaned over to kiss me, smelling of booze and lilac. Lilac.